There hasn't been a new asset class since the bond market was created in 1693. Well, now there's a new asset class, and it is the digital asset space. The question is, are you participating? Hey, what's going on, guys? It's the Crypto Siege with another day in the life and the crazy life that is the digital asset space. Happy Memorial Day to you. Shout out to all my fans out there in the podcast land. Really excited to come hang out with you guys today. A little bit of a hangout. I'm going to go over some stuff as well. Got some TA guys that I respect tremendously. Calling for some crazy numbers in XRP. You're going to go over some of that as well. Shout out to high altitude investing and DIY investing, and also blockchain backer. But I got to tell you, the guy that I know that's been trading in this space and winning in this space trading, without question, is high altitude investing. So really excited. Share a little bit of that with you guys. I was going to go over a little bit of the TAS group, the TAS task group, TAS. A little bit of that. You know, it's interesting to see. Are we sleeping? Are we sleeping on what's going on with the European Payments Council? Are we sleeping on what's going on with the ECB? I don't know. But we shall soon find out. Because with, again, this new executive order, I really truly believe it opens the door for so many regulatory agencies to move forward. And gosh, every time we turn around, right? What do we see? An answer to the beer code is to move away from dealing with cash. So the sooner that we move towards these digital dollars, the obvious next step is to evolve into digital assets, right? To evolve in digital assets. So guys, we're going to go over those things and have a good hangout as well. Happy Memorial Day to each and every one of you. Let me say some shout out. Who is here? XRP Lava's in the building. What's going on, my friend? Yeah, I did a little XRP Lava. I did a little schedule update. I mean, like a premiere type thing. It works pretty good. I like doing that. So you were first, my friend, XRP Lava. Hey there, Crypto Siege and the XRP fam. What's going on, XRP Joe? Good to see you today, bro. Yeah, Memorial Day. Gosh, I saw something on Twitter about a place, a very popular place. People travel from all over to hit this spot. It's called Ocean City, Maryland. Got to tell you, that was a very surprising video I saw there. Wow. Wall to wall, person to person. Just lines and lines of people. Not a single mask. Not a single mask. So that was a little crazy to see. Wayne Leather's in the building. What's going on? Frank McGillicuddy. Good afternoon to you, Frank. Good to see you on the stream. Frank McGillicuddy. Have you been on the channel before, Frank? TJ Jackson is in the building. What's up, TJ? Salute to the family. Lucky Lloyd is here. Maybe Sober's in the building. Good day to you, my friend. Cryptum Phantom is here. How you doing, Cryptum Phantom? So yeah, we're going to cover a little bit of that. Listen, I just got to tell you, we're getting close. I got some information today. I can't share it with you, show it to you, but I got to tell you, I think that all things kind of tend to happen in the market around the fall. You know, just September, October, November, I think. And this is when I expect things to happen with the bull market overall, especially with the altcoins. It's going to be an interesting thing to see. But me personally, ultimately, we all know the price of XRP has to be high for it to do what it needs to do. I am feeling more and more comfortable when you think about places like Task Group and Finastra, the tips and Target 2. Well, you think of the BBVA and all of these things that have been doing stuff since 2015. Now, so if it's 2015, that's 5 years of doing a thing, preparing. That's 5 years of preparation for a thing. And I just think if we know that the price of XRP, because we've heard it from people like David Schwartz, has to be high in order to accomplish what they're looking to do. What is that going to look like? I don't know. I don't know. But my banking friend, Robert Westberg, says he would not be surprised if we woke up one day and it was a 4-figure number. Baba Kuggs has been on record saying a 2,000 per XRP. We shall see, right? Lucky Lloyd is in the building. Good to see you. Oh, just once, Frank. Oh, I appreciate you hanging out, my friend, on a Memorial Day, without question. When you think about Finastra, you think about the Task Group, you think about the ECB, think about the Bank of England. I just read something about the BBVA having tested DLT and RippleNet, right? Or RippleNet, I believe RippleNet as well. I just think that 5 years preparing, 5 years preparing. And it always takes me back to, why did Ripple come out with an intentionality to put a blog up and do videos and then subsequent videos on 2020, the year of the digital asset? Why is that? Why did they do that, right? What do they know, right, that they can't say? It's not like we don't know what they know, but what do they know that they can't talk about? 2020, the year of the digital asset. Interesting. Yeah. So what I want to cover with you guys first, I think I'm gonna share a video for you guys, so just to kind of get it from that our TA's perspective, so that you think, okay, even the TA guy, even a guy who is not nowhere near as bullish on XRP as DIY investing, is still calling for a $20 XRP. Right? Still calling for a $20 XRP. So that's interesting in itself, right? I titled the stream from something that I got on Twitter from here it is. Let me share this with you. It's important today too. D. Kirsten, what's going on? VeChain making moves. Oh, I was wanting to get a little bit more VeChain. Remember this? Shout out to Status XRP_Crow at status.hr/Ripple. A great status.hr is a great place to get some great graphics. So let us not forget this. Ripple costs 81% less, 81% less than the corresponding banking network used for decades to send global payments. That was Alicia Bertusa from the BBVA. I just read something on the Task Group about the BBVA and how they were early in the testing of things like RippleNet and DLT. Ripple costs 81% less than the corresponding banking network used for decades to send global payments by SWIFT, right? Very, 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 very powerful, powerful statement. I don't even know if I can show that, if I get in trouble for sharing that. There's something on the Milken Institute. It's an audio only, and it's how the Beer Code is shaping the future of retail banking. Right? You got an executive order coming out stating that there's an economic recovery necessary to take place because of the Beer Code, and we're going to do whatever we can by taking, the handcuffs off of regulation away to provide that, right? I think that's really, really important. I'm not going to, what do I want here? Do I want this one? Remember when this happened in China? Lian International joins RippleNet to provide faster payments into China. I wonder, have we forgot about that? That's still a real thing. This was back in 2018. So my thing is that the RippleNet continues to grow and to expand into different regions for a reason. Let me go over some of my stuff here with you guys, because I think it's important. I want to home. This is from Stewart XRP. This is at the blockchain for Europe. I don't know the date of this yet, but this is really important. This is so important. Stewart XRP put this out, right? Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse and the future of crypto assets. The future in which cryptocurrencies are used as payments is at least 5 to 10 years away. As of today, the biggest risk for the market is regulatory uncertainty. And Matt Lyon, I say payments is not settlement. That's very, very true. This is from Baba Cugs. Fact, pretty soon, many XRP holders are going to regret not going all in. Those who believed will be handsomely rewarded. Handsomely rewarded. Zell's making moves too, huh? That's good. I'm holding on to just a little bit of fiat, just a few, right? Just a few to make a purchase. Chainomics is in the building. What's going on, Chainomics? Mass adoption is coming. Don't know much about XDCE. Is that his infant thing, TJ Jackson? Calculon is in the building. Yes, it can be. TJ Jackson, that's a great question. TJ Jackson said, could the exchange that Ripple is building be the global exchange? Yes, it can. It's a decentralized exchange. It's already built in. Yeah. Into the ledger. Absolutely can be. Yes, right. XRP Lava. That's a great point. $20 would be enough to grab the masses' attention without question. And this is my thing about the challenge between the TA side of things and what they want side of things. And I just don't believe, I'm fairly certain that they don't want the number of XRP wallets going up. You know what I mean? And that's a great point, XRP Lava. But what if it did go from where it currently is, and then starting sometime in August, September, it starts going up, and the next it's $20. A lot of people will start to look at that and say, whoa, right? The wallets would go up without question. I don't think they want that. I just don't believe that this is what they want. They don't want the wallets to go up in size, in numbers. That's without question, Crypto Phantom. Good point. There's one thing we all know, and that's the U.S. has to go digital or the rest of the world will leave us behind. All you have to do is hodl, bro. That's exactly right, Crypto Phantom. I appreciate you contributing to the channel. That is 10,000% correct. That is the deal. Yeah. Carl Wagner, shout out to Carl Wagner. He responded to one of my videos I did earlier today. And it's just, he is aware of the same thinking. It's just going to become a point in time where if you don't have to, where if you don't want to, you won't have to cash out your XRP. You just won't. And he is firmly convinced of passive income. Literally, because you hold XRP, you'll be able to create passive income from just having XRP. And I think, and the reason why I tend to agree with him is because I believe that these market makers, I don't think that they're in the business for the short term. I think they're in this business for the long term. I think there's a reason why when Ripple moved, 900 million XRP, or 900, I believe it was 900 million XRP, and convinced those who had it not to sell it. There was a reason. What was that? What was that conversation like? They got these guys to hold the XRP. And I don't believe that it's a cash out price that they're expecting it to get to. I believe it is because they have been convinced that there's going to be an ongoing supply of income because of holding XRP. That's what I think they see. Not that they might cash out 1%, 0.5%, 2%, live their lives, increase their whatever. But I do believe, like Carl Wagner, that there is going to be a situation where if you hold XRP, you'll be able to have passive income from holding XRP, from just holding it, lending it, lending your XRP for payments. This is what I think is the reason. I don't think it's because of a payout. You see what I'm saying? Norman Wisdom, yes, they did. Yes, they did. Yeah, and a lot of people think XRP and the XDDC are kind of in the same space. So they're in different markets. They may have similar categories, but they're in their own different lanes. You know what I mean? So that's what I think. I don't think it's the payout. If you understand what I'm saying, I don't think they held it to cash it out. I think they hold it because they expect it to be an ongoing source of income for them, never ending. My ledger will help me see that. Maybe Sober said, my ledger will protect me when chaotic buying happens. Already happened within 2 weeks of opening a Coinbase account. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think, I get it. Some people gonna, look, they got bills to pay. They've been living on the edge, right? So they're going to take advantage of the prices when they can, right? I mean, right? Nothing wrong with that at all. Absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. It's got to take care of what you need to take care of. But ultimately, holding it is going to be really, really. I mean, in the end, the way the markets work, right? The greater demand and the less of the supply that's available, it just kind of helps with the price, right? And so we get it. Some people are gonna, need to have a couple, 10, 20 grand, cash that out. Some people are gonna need a 6-figure cash out. I get it. Right? I get it. It's a great question to ask yourself. If in September XRP is $2,000, what are you doing with your XRP? If in September XRP hits $2,000, what are you doing with your XRP? $2,000 is massive. How they get there, I don't know. I don't know how they get there. But how they get to that, it doesn't matter if they get there. What are you doing? If you have 5,000 XRP and it's now 2,000, what are you doing with it? So please don't mention how much you hold. But if you had 5,000 XRP and now XRP is at $2,000, what you doing with it? You ever thought about that? Let's see what that looks like. I know it's a number I should know. But what are you doing with that? What you doing with that? XRP Joe says, I will exit 10% and save the rest from when it hits 10. When it hits what? 10,000? Okay. $5,000 XRP. Okay, hold on a second. Am I doing that right? 5,000 XRP times a 2,000 per. That looks like 10 million to me. It's 10 million. It's 10% of 5,000 is 500. $500. Cash out 500, right? So you're gonna have 500 times 2,000. That's cool. That's a cool 1 million. That's $1 million. You could do a lot of things in today's world with $1 million, right? You could do a lot of things, right? You could do a lot of things. Anyone else care? Thanks, XRP Joe. I appreciate you sharing, my friend. $1 million, right? You could just take 100,000 times 10. And what could you do? You could do a lot of great things with the mill, right? You could do a lot of great things. Kind of, the thing I love about it is, you don't have to necessarily go from, trading your time for dollars to now, okay, I got $1 million, I'm done. You don't have to necessarily do that, but you could set up 2 or 3, 4 or 5 different things. Maybe even start a business, and then you still got 4,500 XRP. You still got them. You still have them. XRP Joe, you still got 4,500 XRP. If all you have was 500, you trade out 10%. 5,000, you trade out 10%. You still got 4,500 XRP that is valued at 2,000 at, probably is going to be at a minimum if it got to 2,000. You see what I'm saying? If it got to 2,000 once, it's probably going to get there again. If it got to 2,000 once, it could get to 2,500. Who knows? Great question, TJ Jackson. If you had 5,000 XRP and in September, it's now $2,000, what are you going to do? It's a great question to prepare yourself for. It's a great question to start pondering today. I really do believe it. I like that. Maybe Sober says do good, right? I mean, you could take like XRP Joe says 10%. It's 500. You got $1 million. You got 100,000. You can put into 10 different places to do some cool stuff to help some people, right? Yeah, you said Lucky Lloyd. Yep, I got it. Real estate, crypto, and e-commerce. But my friend, what are you going to do? Are you cashing out all 5,000? Are you cashing out all 5,000? Who at 2,000? Please don't tell me how much XRP you have. But if you have 5,000 XRP, who is going to cash out every single one? Lucky Lloyd's going to cash out 5%, not 10%. I hear that, my friend. You have a cool $500,000, right? So that's my question to you. How much of it is going to cash out? How much, or all of it? How much are you going to cash out? I would do, if it was me, I would do 10%. I would do 10% because I know without question, that there are so many people's lives that I can touch with that. So I would do 10%, absolutely. Because I know I have 4,500 left. I didn't lose 4,500 just because I got $1 million in fiat. I didn't lose it. I still got my 4,500. So I would do 10%, and I would definitely. So I'm going to tithe, right? I'm going to tithe to my church without question, right? I'm going to take care of family, 2 particular people in my family, especially, right? Family members, right? So the cool mill gives some flexibility, some options to, some more options, right? How many years of work would it take for you to get to $1 million? Do you take 3 years worth of pay and just do you? How many thought about that? How many thought about 3 years of pay, right? Whatever you make, 3 years of pay, and just do you for 3 years. Do you for 1 year, 1 year of pay, and just do you, right? 1 year of pay, do you, and do that thing that you've always wanted to do. Maybe the current gig you have is just about paying the bills and providing a certain lifestyle for your family. What if you could now buy back a year and invest in something that you want to do? Build a business, start a podcast, vlog traveling for a year and build a YouTube channel around that, right? Yep. Right. Think about that. Mark Cal is in the building. Happy Memorial Day to you. And let me read it. Let me share this. Appreciate you being here, Mark. Good to see you, my friend. Guys, don't forget to smash the likes on the way in, please, if you didn't get a chance to do that. And please follow me on Twitter at crypto_siege and on Facebook at the Crypto Siege. That would be awesome. I would definitely appreciate that. Mark Callis says, happy Memorial Day to you all out there and good trading. Let's make some money. Absolutely, Mark. Appreciate you being here. Oh, maybe sober. Sorry to hear that, my friend. I'm sure it'll work out for the best. Jerry Brandon is here. What's up, Jerry? Good to see you on the stream, my friend. I mean, did you think about that? I mean, it's something to think about. It really is something to think about. When you think when was it Evan Schwartz that said all the money? Was it him? Listen, all the money. Anyone think that all the money could be? Listen to this for a second. Anyone think all the money can be done with a $900 per XRP? Anybody think that all the money can be done with a $900 XRP? I don't think so. I was Michael Zischek on YouTube firmly believes that it has to be. He said 3 or 4 digits, but it certainly has to be 4 digits. I think it's 3 digits for a certain sector, a certain space. I just don't see it. $900 is not going to do. It's not going to handle all the money. Crypto Chris says not at all. Yeah. Debo says no. What's going on, Debo? You know what I mean? And I bring that up because I personally believe the 4-digit XRP is absolutely a positive. I mean, a possibility. It's absolutely a possibility. I believe that with everything in me. With everything in me. I don't think that XRP, although I do listen to TA guys, I listen to the TA guys for the minimum possibility. I do not believe that XRP can be TA'd because of the fundamental use cases that you can't put in a TA chart. Just can't put it into a traditional markets or on a TA chart because of what it's going to be used for. It's not like Bitcoin. It's not. It's just not. Settlements and payments are two different things. And I think once we really embrace that and really fully understand that payments and the settlement is two different things. The settlement is the thing that will make it churn. It's the settlement and the velocity. It's the settlement and the velocity of money that is the game changer. It's the settlement in seconds that is the game changer. If you know some people in the FX market, just talk to them. Just talk to them. It is the settlement, the finality, and the speed in which that happens is the game changer for the markets. It's not the payment. We already have instant payments. Instant payments is a thing today, right? Instant payments is a thing today. It's the finality of it that is the game changer. That is where XRP lives and dies and breathes, and the finality, because that helps to promote the velocity of money. You see what I'm saying, guys? Let me share something with you guys. And I think it was XRP Yo-Yo who shared this. Hopefully I can find it. Let me see, make sure I can catch someone coming in. Living Waters, good to see you, my friend. I'm going to finally have kids. I've always been afraid of bringing them into this world, not being able to give them the things I haven't had. Well, that's so awesome, Living Waters. I hope and I wish that for you. I wish for you everything that you wish for, my friend. No, not messing around with the 10,000 per XRP price. No. I just think that for me, $2,000 is, for me, very, very possible, because XRP, number one, is going to have so many use cases, but it's going to play in a world in the financial space, cross-border payments, derivatives, securities, all of that stuff. It's going to play there. And it's not about payments. It's about settlement. It is about the finality of things. If it was about payments, everyone would be turning to PayPal. The banks will be turning to PayPal, right? And Zelle, right? Zelle, I'm going to share something with you guys, but that's where they will be looking. It's not about payments. It's not about real-time gross settlement. It's about real-time gross settlement. It's not about real RTP. In a lot of places is already here. Real-time payments is not the thing. It's the settlement of the payment, if that makes sense to you guys. It's the settlement of the payments. That's what the big money is concerned about. Again, if you know someone in the FX markets or derivatives market, ask them about the settlement. It's the settlement of things that is the difference. Let me share something with you guys. Let me see if I can find it. Let me find it first. This was interesting. This was interesting. So much for social distancing. What in the wide world? Okay, there it is.
Private providers today offer all sorts of relatively fast digital payment options. Besides debit and credit cards, you have PayPal and Google Pay and Apple Pay, Venmo, Zelle, and Square, and some others, each of which has its unique virtues and is especially good for particular kinds of payments. And they're not just fast, relatively, they're fast and they're cheap, and they're often more reliable than legacy payment systems. PayPal for online shopping, Venmo for sending money to your friends, Apple Pay if you use an iPhone, Google Pay if you've got an Android phone and a Gmail account, Square if you don't want to have a separate account as well as your bank account, and so on. But these fast payments providers don't generally offer fast back-end services. On most of these systems, it takes 2 or 3 days for accounts to settle. And therefore, the risks of older style payments are still present, albeit not as great. Zelle is the one exception. It's run by a consortium of banks. And in that system, funds are instantly available to the payees, But even on Zelle, final settlement takes a day or sometimes more if you've got weekends or holidays to deal with. So banks, in that case, are exposed to some risk. My second tale is that of a new back-end fast payment system, the RTP for real-time payment system, developed with the Fed's active encouragement by another consortium of private banks called the Clearing House, or TCH for short. Now, it just so happens that TCH began life as this nation's second ever clearinghouse after the Suffolk system in New York in 1853. The specific challenge that the RTP system is designed to solve is that of achieving a ubiquitous or nationwide fast settlement system.
All right, guys. So that's just part one. That's just part one. At TJ Jackson, absolutely, that's cool, brother. Absolutely, I appreciate you doing that, my friend, without question. Danny Kephart is here. What's going on, my friend? What's going on, Danny Kephart? See, it's good to see you today, brother. Jared. Oh, good. Now, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you on the stream. Jack_digital is here. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, TJ Jackson, that's cool. Where'd you put it on Facebook, bro? That's exactly right. Big money. Good to see you. Crypto Keeper, it's good to see you on the stream, my friend. Good to see you here, Crypto Keeper. Big money will always do what is best for big money. Only this time, the XRP community will benefit along with them. That's exactly right. 10,000% correct. So you see what he went there. So there's a part two. But again, it's not about the settlements, in my humble opinion. I mean, the payments, in my humble opinion. It is about the settlements. The settlements is the game changer. The settlement takes all this risk, this counterparty risk away. It's the settlements. Thank you, Jared XRP. Jared, I will definitely do that. It's the settlements that is the game changer. It's not the payments. It's the settlements that is what's going to make all the difference, in my opinion. XRP, the standard, is without question. John, it was good to see you, my friend. I don't know when the speech was, XRP Lava, to be honest with you. I don't know the time date. But Zelle hasn't been around that long, right? Everything was coming out. It's all about faster payments, and I'm loving it. They might not mention XRP is on, but it's that because what's XRP for payments? None. XRP is the standard, yeah. And ultimately, the settlement is the game changer, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Life is good, Crypto Keeper. Appreciate you being here, man. Calculon, the settlement increases the trust factor. Yep. Big E, XRP Crypto Brother is here. What's up, Big E? Good to see you, right? So let's go to part two. Let's go to part two. See what he has to say. I haven't listened to part two yet, but I was reminded by Matthew Linai that payments, is one thing. Settlement is quite another thing. And I believe that the settlement is the game changer because it allows for the velocity of money. All right, so let me make sure I share it this time the right way. Share with audio.
Bank providers of front-end or nationwide fast settlement system that bank and non-bank providers of front-end fast payment services can take part in. RTP's basic workings are very similar, in fact, uncannily similar to the workings of the old suffix system. Any bank can participate, and non-bank service providers, assuming they don't have a special purpose national bank charter, can appoint a participating bank to serve as their agent. Participants have to pre-fund balances held in a jointly owned RTP account of the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, with pre-funding requirements based not on their size, as in the suffix system, but on their anticipated activity. As the balances are used, the banks have to top them up again, in this case by transferring funds from their ordinary Fed master accounts to the RTP joint account. Settlement of payment orders between RTP participants, that is the customers of those participants, takes place instantly, and it does so 24/7 through debits and credits to and from individual balances in the joint account. The system also allows payment orders to be accompanied by messages and information concerning, for example, what the payment was for, payment confirmations, and that makes it especially attractive to businesses that can save a lot of money on resource management costs. So we have seen some progress, after all, since 1819. But the picture isn't entirely rosy. Just as the suffix system met with resistance from some small country banks, so RTP has met with resistance from some smaller community banks who don't like the idea of having to pay a big bank TCH consortium for fast payment services. But the truth is, those services are very cheap. RTP has a flat fee structure that actually favors smaller banks. There are no volume discounts, there's no volume commitments, and there are no monthly minimums. I think
So what's missing in there is still the need for pre-funding, if I heard that correctly. So what's missing there, I believe, is still the need for the pre-funding. If I got that correct, that's still a missing thing, right? So that's still a factor, right? It's still a factor. But my thing is, hey, Cindy, what's going on? It's good to see you in the stream. Oh, nice. You do, huh? Good to see you, Cindy. Peace, crypto family. I watch on my TV, so I don't comment all the time. I hit the like button, though. I appreciate that, Cindy, big time. Happy Memorial Day to you. So it seems like to me that the RTP system is still, I think I heard that correctly. I'll listen to it again, but there still is a necessity for pre-funding. And also the smaller banks are really not that excited about having to pay the bigger banks, again, to get access to the payments, right? And they don't have to because of RippleNet. Because of RippleNet, they can get RTP like and better. It's better than RTP. The RippleNet is a better option to RTP, and that's what Ripple's going out there and building. So it's going to include the transparency in terms of messaging and what those look like and what the costs are going to be. But I believe he said there that that's still the RTP system still accounts or allows for this pre-funding, where in the use of XRP it will not. So RippleNet and ODL obviously is 100% the game changer. Yeah, I was watching something on YouTube about the U.S. and China. I didn't get to finish it, but boy, I gotta tell you, maybe sober, very, very compelling stuff. And again, I can't see their not having a plan. The good old USFA not having a plan. I really can't. That's exactly right, Frank. That's exactly what I'm saying. Frank says exactly sober. But I think we're also been working on things. I can't see us taking a back seat if we can help it. Exactly. Frank, I say on this channel all the time that the Donald has a plan. The President of the United States has a plan. Don't know where Ripple and XRP fits into it, but I know it's in there. I know it's an A or a B or a C, right? I know it's in the plans because it's a game changer, and it's a good old USFA technology. And it doesn't just solve the problem in the United States. It solves a global problem. It helps to solve a global problem. And the president of the United States knows it. Mnuchin knows it, right? So again, I don't know what the Donald's plan is. I don't know where Ripple and XRP fit into it, but I know it does fit into it because that's why they mentioned Ripple in Executive Order 13772. That's why they mentioned it. That's why they mentioned it. That's why they mentioned Ripple in this Executive Order 13772 about a new financial system. It's the reason why they mentioned Ripple. It's the reason why Ripple is mentioned in every freaking diagram, you know, with the powers that be that you can possibly imagine. Right, Frank, exactly. Yep. There's a plan. And again, I don't know where Ripple fits into that plan. I don't know if it's the Donald's plan A, if it's the Donald's plan B, or if it's his plan C, if you will. But it's in the plan, in my humble opinion. In my humble opinion, it is in the plan. And again, if the technology was like you know, only works in the US of A system, that would be one thing, right? So if RippleNet only worked in the US of A, that would be one thing. But that's not the case. It helps to solve a global problem. It helps to solve a problem globally. And there is no way, in my humble opinion, Frank, that the Donald is going to let Japan get in newspapers and have conferences and tout XRP and Ripple, and have the people from Saudi Arabia tout and sing the praises of XRP and Ripple, right? And have the people from Latin America tout and sing the praises, sing from the rooftops about XRP and Ripple. And the Donald is not going to leverage that. The Donald is not going to leverage a good old US of A company and not rush them up to the front of the podium. I don't see it. I just don't believe it, bro. I just don't see how they let that slip through their fingers. I really don't. I really, really don't. And this guy is eloquently putting out in those two videos, we've progressed, but there's still challenges. There's still challenges. And remember, there are a lot more medium-sized to small banks than there are the big banks. And if the medium-sized, the big banks know there's a better option, there's something better out there for them that is cheaper, more transparent, more efficient than what the RTP system has to give. Like, where do you think they're going? That's why RippleNet is massive, and it's only getting bigger and better. It's only getting bigger and better. You know, so that is where I kind of stand. Like, yeah, that RTP is cool, and he's stating it's got some cool stuff. They're progressing, right, since 1819. They're progressing, but it is not ODL. It is not ODL. Right? Because payments is one thing, settlement is quite another different thing. And RTP is cool, but again, it has some drawbacks, right? It has some downside to it. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping too, TJ Jackson. That's a good point. Frank's like, believe that. Exactly. Maybe we get something out of Bank of America once their merchants contract expires in June. Yep. Maybe that's what I'm hoping for that. I'm hoping that this will happen because it's got to come soon. And it's going to be, that may start something for XRP. That may start. So I'm just curious, what is that relationship between Bank of America and Ripple and RippleNet? What is Bank of America looking to do and become? I think they got big plans. I think Bank of America has big plans. I really, really do. You know, Phase 4, huh? I think Bank of America has some big plans, and I think they're going to shock the world. Right? I think they're going to shock the world with their plan, and they're going to be doing it with the fintech company of the 21st century, and that is Ripple, and they know it. Bank of America knows that the Ripple is the one. They know it. They work in the same building. Oh, by the way, guys, I mean, come on. I think a lot of people kind of forget that they work in the same building, right? They work in the same building in San Francisco. You know what I'm saying? You know, you're right, TJ Jackson. They work in the same building. I mean, in the end, you don't. I mean, Bank of America. You think they haven't had some coffee, some lunch and coffee together? you think that they haven't gone out to happy hour together? Come on. I mean, come on. Right? How many happy hours you think they've had together? They work in the same building, guys. They work in the same building. What's going on? Is that Jan B? What's up, Jan B? That's a great point. Exactly. That's right, Crypto Keeper. The Donald is smart. Again, I'm not left and right, upside down, sideways, or any of that. But the truth is the truth. The Donald is smart. He is playing poker. He will not show his hand until he is ready to put his cards on the table. He hates to lose, so he has a plan. You can bet on that. But sometimes silence is gold. What I got to tell you, Frank, the Crypto Keeper, what do you think about the new executive order that was just put out? Have you guys seen that? Are you familiar with this new executive order? Have you guys seen or read this new executive order, Frank and Crypto Keeper? I know everyone else in the channel has. Yeah, a lot of people forget that, TJ Jackson. So Frank and Crypto Keeper, are you guys familiar with this new executive order that the president signed and put out? TJ Jackson said, I actually did forget they were in the same building. That's exactly right. They may share lunch daily. Yeah, I mean, it only makes sense. It only makes sense. And I'm just telling you that I believe that they got kind of like a little bit of inside. I don't want to say that it was secret knowledge, but if they're in the same building, they're going to get a little bit on the inside of what's going on. They're in the same building. Bank of America is what, third, fifth largest in terms of assets under management? I mean, come on. Hello, Jan. Is that my Jan or John? Appreciate you being here, brother. Right? They're in the same building. Let me see if Crypto Keeper and Frank have heard of the new executive order. No response yet. The D-Reg, yes. Yes, exactly, Frank. The D-Reg is essentially. Yeah, I mean, it's I gotta tell you, one of my favorite things in there is the other regulatory agencies that include the SEC, the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau, and the OCC. Wow. And the OCC. Yeah. Right. They talk to each other, but what they disclose is another story, right? But you know, if something walks like a duck and talks like a duck and acts like a duck, right? I mean, I mean, they're in the same building. We already got the word on Twitter, right? The people from Bank of America or whatever saying, hey, or from Ripple saying, hey, can you take down that partnership thing? Can you take the news of that thing down? You know, we're planning a special announcement. We're planning a special announcement, what that's going to look like. All right, guys, listen, I got to get out of here. I'm going to wrap up the stream. It's been a really, really cool hangout. I appreciate you guys being here. John Edwards says, I've seen it, brother. The gloves are off. Whoa. Indeed, indeed. So, guys, listen, I'm going to wrap up the stream. It's been a really, really cool hangout. Yeah, they're all under NDAs, Frank, without question. They all are. It's just a matter of time. Just got to be patient. And listen, I'm going to wrap up the stream like I do all my stream, guys, and remind you of this. Old money doesn't want you to win. They don't want us to win. They would rather us remain a cog in their perpetual wheel of trading our time for dollars. They don't want us to play in the same playground that they play in, where we allow our money to work for us. This is our chance to win, guys. The digital asset space is our chance to win. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. Are you participating? Or are you standing on the sidelines? Here's what I do know, that the battle for you has already been fought, and the victory is yours. Go get it. I'll talk to you soon, guys. See ya. Bye. Frank, thanks so much for the super chat, my friend. I appreciate that, brother. It's great hanging out with you today.